ready to take screenshots if you want. So first, let's start looking in Google or the dictionary. What means intensify? What means to intensify?
Intensificar.
That's the translation. But what is the definition?
Make more hard a word or a phrase. Or put emphasis in a word.
Very good. Thank you, Dracer. Make something with emphasis, with more emphasis, or give a strong meaning, and a stronger meaning, actually. So today, we will learn about intensifiers. Today, we will learn about intensifiers. For that reason, we will go to the platform and we will download a document. Please go to the Fumbal platform, week 2, day 2. And we will go directly to the syllabus vocabulary. Syllabus vocabulary, day 2, week 2, day 2, week 2, day 2. Go to the syllabus vocabulary. You will see something like this. So we will learn the pronunciation of this vocabulary. Repeat in your houses. So, very, really, real, amazingly, exceptionally, considerably, incredibly, remarkably, remarkably, particularly, enough, awesome, awesomely, fantastically, terrifically, terribly, totally, excessively, repeat, excessively, almost, completely, apparently. All right. Let's see. Let's start with Brian. Brian, start, please. So, very, really.
Okay, so, very, really, extremely, amazingly, exceptionally, considerably, incredibly, remarkably, particularly, enough, awesomely, fantastically, terrifically, terribly, totally, excessively, almost, excessively, and almost. completely and apparently.
Very good. Number 4, extremely. Repeat.
Extremely,
Got it.
extremely.
Very good. Let's continue. Karen. So, very, really. Continue.
So, very, really, extremely, amazingly, exceptionally, con considerably,
Good.
incredibly, remarkably,
Very good.
particularly, enough, and
Awesomely.
what?
Awesomely.
Awesomely, fantastically, yes,
Fantastically.
fantastically, terrifically, terrible,
Terribly.
terribly, totality, and
Totally.
totally, totally, excessively, almost, completely,
Completely.
completely, and apparently.
Very
Yes.
good. Excellent. Kenneth. Kenneth.
Yep.
So, very, really. Let's go. 3, 2, 1.
So very, really, extraordinarily, amazingly,
Extremely.
extremely. It's like extremadamente.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Amazingly, exceptionally, considerably, in, incredibly, remarkably, particularly, enough, I, I will sound absolutely,
Awesomely.
awesomely, fantastically, terrifically, totally, exceptionally, almost
Excessively.
completely, expressively,
Excessively.
excessively, almost com completely, apparently,
Apparently.
apparently.
You got it. Perfect. Jason Wilson.
So very, really, amazingly,
Extremely.
extremely, exception, what is the pronunciation of exceptionally,
Exceptionally.
exceptionally, considerably, incredibly, remarkably, particularly, enough, awesomely, fantastically, terrific, terrifically, terribly, totally, excessively, almost, completely. I can see the last word. Apparently.
Very good. Okay. So let's go to our whiteboard. And let's learn about the structure to build sentences with intensifiers. Build sentences with intensifiers. First, what we need is a subject as a regular sentence. Subject. Plus verb to be. Plus intensifier. plus adjective. The class is the subject. Verb to be is, because it's singular, intensifier, extremely, extremely, adjective, amazing. The class is extremely amazing. A regular sentence would say, the class is amazing. But with the intensifier, what I'm doing is I am giving a stronger meaning to the adjective. I'm qualifying that it's not only amazing, but it's extremely amazing. Okay. Let's see other example. The woman was past simple. The woman was, verb to be in past tense. Really, intensifier, really beautiful. The woman was really beautiful. Release or intensifier. In a regular sentence, we will find a regular qualification like the woman was beautiful. Just that. That's a regular sentence. But with an intensifier, we are giving a stronger meaning. The woman was really beautiful. There is only one exception when the structure is different and is with the intensifier enough. There is enough money. No, let's use another one. The stadium is full enough. Where enough means the stadium is full enough. And what happened is that the intensifier goes at the end of the sentence. And we have the adjective first. The stadium is full enough. El estadio está suficientemente lleno. That's the idea. There are some adjectives that come from a verb. For example, cook, cooked. Damage, damaged. Build, built. Prepare, prepared. Excite, excited. We have, for example, profession, professional. We have friend, friendly. The last two examples are adjectives created by another word. And the first examples are adjectives created by verbs. Let's practice. Let's practice. So I have right here a piece, well, a cake. I have here a cake. So please write in the chat one sentence using intensifiers to describe this cake. And let's use the verb, the adjective cooked. For example, the cake is perfectly cooked. This is on an example. You can use many more adjectives and other intensifiers. Describe this cake and write it in the chat. One sentence to describe the cake. Looks, you are missing the S, Alan Juarez, because he's singular. Looks so good. Look at this, is not describing the cake, Peque. Now look at this.
No, ahí lo diré en español. Quería escribir, mira ese pastel, pero Se me fue el enviar.
Remember to use intensifiers. So, really, perfectly, extremely, terribly, etc. The cake looks very delicious. The cake is totally chocolate would work. Cake in English is pastel. In English is cake, Jose Marcos. Cake. Look at this cake. It's very tasty. The cake is repeatedly cooked at the bread store. Don't forget the article, Kenneth. The cake is enough for everyone. The cake was extremely cooked at a delicious dessert. As a delicious. As a delicious. At is a preposition of place, Jason Wilson. This cake is incredibly fluffy.
Fluffy is esponjoso. I don't know. Fluffy. Oh, esponjoso. Is fine. Fluffy.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay.
The cake is exceptionally big. I'm enough with this cake. Very good. Excellent. So that's, as you can see, that's to describe the cake, right? But we are giving a stronger meaning to the ideas we are sharing, right? Let's go with another cake. Oh, what happened with the cake? Now, please write in the chat one sentence to describe the cake. What happened with this cake? For example, this cake is extremely cooked. This cake is extremely burned. It's a completely disaster. On this case, Dracer, we won't use an intensifier because you are using a noun after the intensifier. So on this case, we need a verb. This cake is a complete disaster, un completo desastre. Si no, diría, el pastel es completamente desastre.
All right.
You
How
can,
do you say desastroso?
you can add ed to the.
All right.
That's
In this way, it works.
Yeah, it works. This cake is a complete tragedy. The saying, Jason Wilson, tragedy is a noun, es un sustantivo, no es un verbo. So we don't use intensifier. We use this a complete, not completely, but complete tragedy. The cake is totally ugly. What we need after the intensifier, sorry, is not exactly a verb, but it can be an adjective that comes from a verb. Como cocinado, dañado, casado, etc. The cake passed away. Where is the intensifier, Alan Gutierrez? The same, Brian. That cake looks like a complete rock. No tiene mucho sentido decir. Luce como una completa roca. Pero no usamos completely, porque completely significa completamente. Lo que necesitamos después del intensifier es un adjetivo. Looks like a completely looks completely boring, completely bad, completely gross. So quitamos también el like. The cake is completely damaged for our meeting. That's good. The cake is terribly creepy. Yes, the cake looks completely burned. Yeah. Very good. Extremely burned, etc. Okay, good. Let's go with another picture here. Ooh, delicious steak, right? So this steak looks good, right? So what sentence can we use to describe this piece of meat? Jose Garcia, tell me a sentence to describe this steak.
Looks like very cooked for out, but in health looks like I don't know, not well, like a crude. How can I say crude?
Raw.
Rat?
Raw.
Rat. Yes.
Yeah, it's because that's how sometimes the steak is served in término medio, right? But we can say that it's almost cooked, right? Almost cooked. What else? Give me other sentence. Lina.
Okay, no,
This meat is jugoso. ¿Cómo se? Espera, lo busco. Juicy. Okay. This meat is juicy. Is exceptionally juicy.
Very good. Perfect. Give me other sentence to describe this meat. Let's see. Samuel. Tell me a sentence to describe this meat. Using intensifiers, of course.
Okay, as I wrote in the chat, this picture is perfectly taken.
Okay, to describe the picture of the steak, right? Very good. Awesome. So now let's describe the next slide. Oh, what happened with this food? Tell me a sentence to describe what happened with the food. Alan Juárez.
How do you say quemado?
Burned.
Burned.
Burned. This chicken is totally burned.
Totally burned. Very good. What else, Diana?
I think the same. The food is totally ruined. How do you say arruinado? Ruined?
Ruined.
Ruined. Yes.
Mhm. Very good. Tell me other sentence, Dixon. Tell me other sentence, Dixon.
About the kitchen.
About this food.
This, the food is not cooked. Is don't look like very well.
You can say it looks terribly cooked, right? Terribly cooked. Very good. The family looks extremely frustrated, right? Very good. Okay, so now